So let me start off by saying that no, that was not a typo in the title, and nor was it clickbait. In this video, I'm going to show you how to rack up over 100,000 battle points on Phase 1 of Crait. Now this video has two purposes, neither of which is to brag, by the way, and as you'll see in the video, there's really nothing to brag about anyway, because this is by far the easiest and laziest way to rack up insane battle points in the entire game. As far as I know anyway. Anybody can do this, even if it's your first day playing Battlefront 2. The main purpose of this video is to highlight something that I think could be a potential map breaker for a few different reasons. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those zeitgeist nerf herders that claims any imbalance is a game breaker that needs to be nerfed into the ground. In fact, as it stands right now, I think the only thing that needs serious adjustment is Emperor Palpatine, who between his wall-penetrating lightning and near immortality, it's like trying to fight Zeus himself. But that's another issue, and I know they're working on it. When it comes to this issue, I think this battle point imbalance could cause serious problems for this map once enough people find out about it. The second purpose of this video is to give all those new players out there struggling to get heroes even occasionally a stupid, easy way to rack up enough points to get your hero fix. I remember how impossible it felt to get Jedis or Blaster heroes my first few weeks of playing this game, let alone getting them early enough to use them for a while. So I still empathize with that. And I'm sure some of you probably see that struggle as, you know, a necessary indoctrination or something. I don't see any harm with giving new players an occasional taste of hero time. It neutralizes some of the pain of the learning curve and just makes the game more fun. So that said, given the very real potential this has to basically ruin this map, please use this responsibly. I know a lot of players will exploit the bejesus out of this, and I know a lot of players I'm sure already are. But just keep in mind that the more you abuse this, the faster it'll cause major problems for this map, and the faster it'll be done away with. So we'll talk about what those problems are later in this video. First, let me show you how this works. Now I'm sure a lot of you are already aware of this. It's certainly not something I have discovered, and there are a handful of other YouTube videos talking about this. But for those of you hearing about this for the first time, here's the short version. Get into a ski speeder as quickly and as often as you can, and every time somebody opens up the ATM-6 with the ion disruptor, unleash hell on that thing with your blasters. That right there is enough information to almost guarantee you no less than 30,000 battle points in Phase 1 of this map. Now if you want to double or triple that number for whatever reason, there's a little bit more to it. And here's how I did it. Since the latest patch, ski speeders now cost 200 battle points. So the first thing you want to do at the very start of the map is rack up 200 points as fast as possible, which is not hard to do. The quickest way, I think, is to start as an officer equipped with improved battle command and buff all the nearby players, and then you might have to pick off, you know, one or two people in the distance to rack up, you know, a couple other points. But this should give you 200 to 300 points pretty quickly. Or you could start as a specialist, pop your head above ground like a little gopher, and do 5 to 10 seconds of sniping. In either case, once you have 200 points, just go ahead and respawn as a ski speeder. Now, once you have your ski speeder, and warning, this is where it gets pretty shameful. You're going to head for the corner of the map as far from the walkers as possible. In the first few minutes, it's going to be one of the corners up against the mountains on either side of the mine hangar, and as far out as you can get before going out of bounds. As the walkers get closer, it's going to be in one of the corners farthest from the mine hangar, behind the walkers, and again right up against the sideline of the map. Once you get to your corner, you're going to fly around in circles. I know, it's super lame, and it's not a fun way to play, and it's selfish, and it doesn't really help your team, but it is far and away the best way to rack up stupid battle points. Not only will you be so far away from the action that most people won't waste their time trying to kill you, but even when they do spot you, you'll be really hard to hit. Between the fact that you're so far away, you're always moving, and the fact that you're almost perfectly concealed by the red dust you're kicking up, you'll be pretty tough to take out. Even when TIE fighters or snipers with ion shots are onto you, and spend the whole match with a personal vendetta against you, which happens, you're still really hard to hit. And when all else fails, if you start taking blaster fire, just hit your booster ability for a quick escape and go do circles somewhere else. Now, the reason you want to be out in the middle of nowhere, as far away from the walker as possible, doing circles, is because if you're in the middle of the chaos trying to take out troopers in the trenches and whatnot, not only are you more likely to get killed, in which case you'll probably miss some opportunities to shoot the walkers while you're waiting to respawn, but also because in order to really maximize your battle points, you want to be laying down as much fire on the walkers as possible, and you only have a few seconds per ion disruption to do this. So if you're up close, weaving in and out of walker legs and whatnot, and somebody hits them with the ion disruptor, it's not as if you can just stop on a dime and turn around and shoot them. You'll be moving so fast that you'll only get a couple of shots in when you're up close. If, on the other hand, you're half a mile away when the walker is exposed, you'll have the entire window of opportunity to fire on it. So while you're off in BFE doing circles, keep an eye on the blue ion disruptor icons, particularly those that have already been picked up. For you new players, they're the ones that have a diamond icon in them as opposed to a rectangle icon. Once you see the white border start to circle the icon, meaning that it's being fired, go ahead and start your approach toward the walkers. Now, you want to lay off the throttle for this. If you go too fast, you'll fly by the walker while its shields are still down, essentially wasting time you could be firing on it. So fly slow. Once the ion disruptor is fired, hit your center ability. Now, I don't remember what this one is called, but it basically beefs up your blasters for a few seconds. Aim for the body of the walker and open fire. You should be able to do damage until your blasters overheat, and sometimes, if you time it right, you'll even have enough time to hit your right ability, which will allow you to get in a few more shots with your standard blasters before the walker's shields go back up. If you do this right, you can fire on the walker for the entire duration that it's exposed and rack up insane battle points doing so. How many battle points? Well, between playing the objective points, target damaged points, and the 2x multiplier, I usually get an average of 7,000 to 10,000 battle points per run. And in fact, here's a clip of me racking up 11,000 on a single run. That's 11,000 battle points in, 7-8 seconds or something like that? Which is just pure insanity. And you can do this over and over and over. So after you make a pass, just rinse and repeat. Go find a corner of the map, fly in circles, wait for ion disruption, and make another run. If you have a team that is competent in acquiring and firing disruptors, there is no reason that you can't rack up 60, 80, or 100,000 battle points in Phase 1 of this map. Now, it's fun, no doubt, but it should be pretty obvious that this massive imbalance has serious potential to ruin this map, especially as more and more people find out about this. Now, some of you might be saying, exactly, so shut up, stop telling everybody. But let's be real, it's 2018, news of anything spreads like wildfire, so it's only a matter of time before everybody and their pet gerbil knows about this. And once that happens, I think it could very well break this map in a few different ways. The most obvious problem this could cause is a huge imbalance in the number of heroes and enforcers that the Resistance gets in all three phases of this map. If you have multiple players with 40, 60, or 80,000 battle points, you have multiple players with an unlimited supply of special units. Now, luckily, there's a limit to how many can play at one time, so it's not like, the First Order will be storming a hangar defended by an army of Wookiees and Jedis or anything, but just the fact that the Resistance will be able to send wave after wave of elite reinforcements for the duration of the match is enough to tip the scales severely in favor of the Resistance. Another scenario this could cause is kind of the opposite problem, in which the majority of the players on the Resistance are either in or just waiting around for ski speeders, meaning nobody will be going for the ion disruptors, nobody will be sniping or running through the tunnels, gunning down troopers, and in this scenario, the First Order will just walk all over the Resistance in Phase 1. It'll just be a total blowout. And the last problem I can think of is that if you have multiple players taking full runs at the walker, with ski speeders every time they're exposed, given how much damage these things cause, then destroying both walkers will be kind of a cakewalk, and this map will end on Phase 1 more often than not. And I've actually played multiple rounds already on Crait where both walkers were destroyed. Now, this isn't super common or anything, not yet anyway, but I've seen it 3 or 4 times, and compare that to Hoth or Kashyyyk, where I don't think I've seen it happen yet. Maybe once. Anyway, for all these reasons, I think it's pretty obvious that there needs to be a serious cutback in the points earned by shooting walkers with ski speeders. There's just no good reason to allow scenarios in which 100,000 battle points can be so easily attained. Now, to be clear, I'm not advocating that we should nerf the ski speeder's damage output, nor am I arguing that we should drop the amount of battle points you can earn by doing this to abysmal levels. In fact, even if they made a drastic cut in the number of battle points earned by doing this, by say cutting it by 70%, one could still easily rack up 30,000 battle points in Phase 1. And actually, in my opinion, that's about the right number. Granted, even 30,000 battle points for such little work is kind of absurd, but the reason I think it's the right number is that it's about on par with the points you can earn playing as the First Order on Phase 1, because ski speeders aren't just a gold mine to pilot, they're also a gold mine to destroy. When playing as the First Order, you can make a pretty decent living doing nothing but taking out ski speeders. This is how I always play Phase 1 of this map when I'm the First Order, and I generally rack up 20 to 30,000 battle points. By the way, if you want to see a how-to video on how to do this, let me know and I'll make it happen. The other benefit of making these cuts and shooting for roughly this number is that it would also give about equal incentive to either hop in a speeder or be one of the guys going for the ion cannons. When I spent Phase 1 on this map launching ion disruptors and blasting walkers with an explosive sentry, I generally rack up 20 to 30,000 battle points. If we equalize the battle points like this, or at least try to get everybody in the same neighborhood, it'll not only balance both teams, but it'll make for an equal distribution of duties within the resistance. Ideally, you'll have just as many players down below launching ion disruptors as you will have players on the surface in ski speeders, making it rain on the walkers. I think this would be pretty ideal. Now, to all those players who are currently milking this exploit and are mad that I'm calling for the death of their golden goose, essentially, I will say this. Earning more than 30,000 battle points in a single phase is truly pointless. 40 or 50 or 100,000 battle points do not provide any advantages that 30,000 doesn't also provide. This is an unspendable amount of battle points. 50,000 points might as well be a billion. You simply can't burn through that many points. In fact, you can't even spend 30,000 in any reasonable way. If you're burning through 5 or 6 heroes or 10 enforcers on a single map, you have much bigger problems to deal with than a scarcity of battle points, so keep that in mind. Now, some of you are probably wondering if there's an incentive to rack up a ton of credits doing this. Well, I'm sorry to report, actually I'm happy to report that the amount of credits you earn doing this are not commensurate with the amount of battle points that you get. And the main reason for that is that about half of these battle points are awarded from the 2x multiplier. And when you get battle points from the 2x multiplier, they do not count either towards your total score at the end of the game or towards the credits that you earn from the game. So at the end of this match that you're watching, for instance, I think I had somewhere between 115 and 120,000 battle points, but I only had a score of 30,000, and I was awarded about 650 credits. So there's really not a huge incentive to rack up credits doing this. Anyway, for all of these reasons, it's my opinion that this needs to be fixed. That said, in my experience, all of these problems are still hypothetical. I haven't noticed any extreme imbalances on this map yet, and in fact, I haven't even seen many other players doing this. Most ski speeders I see are caught up in the chaos near the hangar, battling ATSTs and making trench runs and only blasting walkers if they so happen to be in the right place at the right time. So who knows, maybe my concerns are theoretical. What do you guys think? Is this something that needs to be addressed? Share your thoughts either in the comments below, or you can also chime in over at the Battlefront 2 forums. I've started a thread there for this topic as well, and I'll throw the link down in the description. So last thing I'll say is that whatever our opinions on this, I think realistically it's only a matter of time before this gets tweaked. So my advice is give it a try and enjoy it while it lasts, but please use this responsibly. Rack up 15 or 20,000 battle points and then finish out Phase 1 playing as a hero, or try to get your hands on some ion disruptors and help your team. Avoiding the urge to abuse this will make the map better for everybody, and you'll still get to play as your favorite heroes. So there's really no downside to being reasonable about this. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you continue to enjoy this awesome map, which is one of my favorite maps, and I will see you guys on the Battlefront.
Evacuation complete. Wouldn't want to be a First Order officer right now. I bet High Command's looking for someone to flank.